Hi, this is Edward Troxel. In today's video, we're going to continue working on our custom command. First of all, I'm going to break the code out into smaller segments. We're going to add a new routine in there to add a new video or audio track, and then we'll learn the next pitfall that can happen. So let's get started. Personally, I don't like necessarily having all the code inside our button click command, so what I want to do is actually take all of this code and move it out to another routine. So we can just do a private void, and then we'll call this count tracks, and it doesn't need any parameters. Then I can take all of the code that we used in here, just cut it and paste it, and then in our count tracks routine we'll just call this count tracks function. So down here I just put in count tracks, and now this will do the exact same thing, except for my button is so much simpler now in that it just calls this one routine, and should I choose, I can now call this routine from any place else without having to worry about all of this other stuff in the click. So it's just to simplify things down the road. Next, I want to add the routine that's actually going to add a track. So here I've added a new add track, and I'm going to send it a track type, which is either going to be a V or an A. Then the location, which is going to be the number of the location for the track. So if I want it at the top, I'll use a 0. If I want it to be the third track down, I could use a 3. And then this would be a string for the track name, and we can just pass it whatever we want to. If we pass it a V, we're going to create a video track. So to do that, we create a new video track, and then we add that video track to the project. Otherwise, we're going to create a new audio track, and then we'll add that audio track to the project. So to add a new video or audio track, let's add a couple more buttons on here. So we'll just come over here to our button. I'm going to name this BTN video track, and then we'll change the text to be add video track, and then I'm just going to copy this one and we'll paste it, put it up here close, change this one to BTN audio track, and then change the text to add audio track. So now when I double click this, it's going to create our new routine here, and all I have to do is call this routine. So we'll use add track. The first thing we want to do is the type. This is a video track, so it's going to be a V. And then the location, I'm going to add it at the very top, so it'll be 0. And then some name. Let's just call it video track. Naturally, we could put different things on the screen so that we could specify the location, we could specify whether the name of the track, but for this simple test we're just going to name them all video track. Then we're going to come back to the design, double click on the audio, and we're going to do the same thing. Add track. This time it's an audio track, and I'm going to add it at the bottom. I'll just use 99 for that, and then we'll use an audio track. So we've simplified the code by breaking this out, and then we've added our new add track, and then we've added these, and then after we add the track, let's call count tracks again to automatically update the numbers. So we just call count tracks there, and we can call count tracks here. So let's build this. The build has succeeded. Now let's run it. We just click on start. Alright, so we go to View, Extensions, My Test Custom Command, and here is our revised version. If I click on Count Tracks, notice it says 0, 0, and 0. Let's see what happens if we add a video track. Okay, you'll notice that nothing happened. Typically, you would get an error message because of the way we have done this here. So as long as you are just reading the information from Vegas, it will just work. But as soon as you start modifying the project, that's where you're going to have problems. If we look down at the bottom of our screen here, you will see that we have several exceptions were thrown. I clicked it about 5 times, and so it looks like there's about 5 errors that were thrown here. The question becomes, why did we get an error? Well, as soon as you start modifying the project, you have to tell it a name to use for the undo list, and you have to put everything in an undo block. Here's what we will do to modify this. The first thing you need is the actual undo block itself. Put everything in the parentheses. I kind of like just using this in the button itself. Then I can just surround all the calls to it. That way I don't have to worry about, should I do it for this one? Should I do it for this one? I don't have to have it in this routine. I don't have it in this routine. I can just pull it in the master call that uses those routines. So here, for my undo list name, I'm going to put in create or add a new video track. And then we'll do the same thing down here. We will name this one add new audio track. And then we'll put our brackets around everything. And so we have everything straight here. So now we have our undo blocks added. Now let's compile it again. We'll start Vegas again. So we click on count tracks. This all updated properly. We click on add video track. We now have a video track added here, and it shows that we have one video track. Click on add audio track. We have an audio track. Let's click audio track a couple more times, and we now say we have 4 tracks, 1 video, 3 audio. And if we look down at our drop down list, add new audio track, add new audio track, add new audio track, add a new video track. So you notice I named the audio track without the word a in there, and so those do not have there. So now if we wanted to delete 2 of those audio tracks, we can just undo 2 of them. Notice that our track count did not change because that routine did not run again. We would have to click on count tracks again, and now it says 2 with 1 and 1. So one of the most common problems when first creating a custom command is figuring out that you need the undo block command in there. And so it doesn't hurt to just add that undo block wherever it's needed. I tend to put it in my button clicks so that it just does everything that has to be done is surrounded by that one undo block. That way I don't have to worry about it in each of the individual routines. So hopefully that'll help you get started on creating a custom command. And next time we'll continue a little bit farther with our custom commands and see what else they can do. Please sign up at www.jettv.com and subscribe on YouTube to get further notifications on when new videos are presented.